So looking at the 4 holes here, something that I've maybe thought that I'm training with, and I may be doing it right or wrong, I'm not exactly sure. You know, we're here to talk about this today, but as maybe I try to get a little bit further from the hole and practicing, maybe I use 1, 2, 3, or the 4th hole as I get a further distance. Is that something I should be doing, or what would you recommend?
Yeah, definitely. So as the putt length increases, we're going to look to increase the length of the backstroke as well, relative to the relative to the timing of the stroke. So as the stroke lengthens out, the ability to create more speed or club head speed increases. So having the tees at the back of the mirror, definitely as your putt length increases, we're going to progressively move the tee length back as well.
Awesome. Let's take a look at how we do that.
All right, so let's talk about stroke length. So what we've done with the Pro Path mirror is we've positioned a tee approximately 10 inches behind where you're putting from, which is about the same length of a standardized grip, okay? So for this 10-foot putt, we want to try to avoid hitting that tee as we make our backstroke and then into impacts. Let's go ahead into address position.
Now I noticed again, just like we did before, you know, flipping that tee upside down is a super simple way to do this from at home.
Piece of cake, right?
Versus, you know, putting it down into the ground if you're outside on the putting green.
Absolutely. So we're going to try to match up your backstroke and follow through to be approximately the same length each side to stroke this 10-foot putt.
All right, cool. Now am I just tapping the tee? Do I want to be just before it? What?
Yeah, let's try to avoid, let's get as close as we can to it without hitting it.
All right, perfect.
Wonderful. So what we could maybe see there was the stroke length in terms of backstroke was great, but maybe the acceleration was a little strong. So how about we do that again, and we'll try to feel like the putter just coasts along a little more, a little less acceleration this time.
I think now that I got a little bit more feeling of what that back is, instead of just trying to rush through it, I can hopefully replicate that only just a little bit better here. So I got the shoulders, the eye, feeling like I'm in a good position. Oh, there we go. Oops. See, knocked it over.
Brilliant. And the great thing about the putting mirror and with these tees, now we're starting to learn what your tendencies are. So if your tendencies were to hit that tee and as a result the ball goes a little too far, you're now doing the learning. So now when you're training, you're now going to start to go, okay, great. I now need to be aware of not only the length of my backstroke, but also the acceleration of the forward stroke as well to match in. And hey, combine this with the putting mat, it's a bit of a game changer.
Yeah, now another thought there that could be something cool if you're out on the putting green to do that is maybe putting a tee at the back there, and what about one all the way down in the ground in front of it? Just kind of get that full length there of what I'm feeling.
100% you could do that. And obviously the great thing with the Pro Path putting mirror is it comes with the gates as well, right?
Yeah.
So if you're out on the putting green, you can put the gates in and actually use those as a little bit of your feedback loop as well. But yeah, if you were indoors, you could comfortably put tees there also.
And I think you really emphasized that a little bit earlier. It's not, you know, the mistakes that we're making or the things that we're doing. It's how do we improve that and why are we doing those things?
Yeah.
That's the really important thing here that I'm learning.
It's a learning loop, isn't it? And we want to continue learning. And as mentioned earlier, it's about getting the feedback so we can then do the learning versus the putting mirror doing the work for you. So we now know that we want your stroke to feel like it's maybe a little shorter on the backstroke, a little smoother in the transition, and that's going to create the great result for you in terms of distance control.
Excellent, awesome. Thank you so much, Richard. Really appreciate it. Yeah.